Spar Rewards Winner Car is back with even more winners. Sign up to new Spar Rewards and you could drive home in a special edition Hyundai i20. Simply swipe your new Spar Rewards card when you buy any participating product, like 450-gram Bacoma Wheat Bix for only $24.99 and Nivea Roll-On Deodorant. Buy any two for just 38 emalangeni. Spar Rewards Winner Car. Now on.
Now, for yet another edition of Temidlalo on Thursday, the 18th of May, year is 2023. Hello, welcome once again, wherever you are in the country, outside the country, outside the continent, wherever you are. We once again take this opportunity and welcome you for this edition of Temidlalo. Your host, as usual, Fabrice Msonera. A couple of things to take center stage on this evening. It includes the upcoming 2023 Nedbank Imvelo MTB Classic. We'll have special guests, both from the Cycling Association and Big Impacts, just to give us an overview. What can we expect this year? What is different? What do they have on the table for us in terms of cyclists and those who want to take part of this upcoming edition? Otherwise, over the weekend, a couple of things that took center stage includes the Darts Championship 2023. We'll hear from the Communications Officer, Flag Numar, what's happening in this year's edition. We'll also jump to volleyball, where they have actually introduced B division. Remember, volleyball were just maintaining A division. This is the B division at the Olympia Africa Lobamba. So the involvement now of B division is to try and apply more pressure to the teams at A division and improve the sport and make it more competitive. Netball, there was a launch where down there, Sikwe, we hear from both the Minister for Justice and the MP from the Sikwe constituency, Honorable Minister of Tingundla, Mr. David Cruz Ngampara, just giving us an overview. We could see what can we expect in this tournament and how much was put on the table in terms of this upcoming edition of netball. Otherwise, let's not forget about Mayor's Cup. Talking about Mayor's Cup, it's all about involvement now of ladies taking center stage. In as much as we've been used to Mayor's Cup, the male aspect being, those dominating the sport. This time around, we hear also from the female, both those who are in charge and those who are hosting the edition. Just how are they encouraging ladies and young talented junior golfers to take part of the sport. It's all going to be happening here live on Eswatini TV at different platforms. It is on YouTube. Just if you have a friend somewhere, somehow, just send them a text, tell them that they can just catch the show live on YouTube. Wherever you are, in the comfort of your seat at home, just it could be in the company of your family and everyone. Just enjoy the show. And for Eswatini TV app, for those who are on the move, wherever you are, during this evening, you can also be part of this show. Otherwise, I already have the guest. I've got the Cycling Association President, Mr. Zwide Ngumaro. This is last year's edition, Mr. Zwide, and he's in the company of Kolile Gama, the sales and marketing manager of big parks. I don't know why I'm getting Kolile. Anyway, Kolani, this is the event last year. It was a success, and I'm looking at the banners, I'm looking at everything was a success. But what do they have this year? What can you expect this year? Angat, should I start with the president? No, ladies first. Ladies, Kolani, good to see you once again. Good to have you in the studio. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm
good. With the pronunciation of the name. No, what? Starting on a bad note.
Yes, yeah.
It happens. For that.
Yeah.
Thank you for welcoming us again to the show.
Yeah.
Firstly, I think the difference that's going to come with Imvelo Mountain Bike Classic this year is the fact that we have gone back to a date. Last year, we made a crucial mistake. We actually took our event and put it in September without counting and looking at the fact that we normally have it in June. So the time frames that we normally have in June, they work perfectly for the cyclists. But in September, a race that starts at 8, it becomes it's kind of a hectic event. So we found ourselves with people. We even called it the mountain bike grave, because people, they just left their bikes in the middle of the mountains because of the heat. So this year, firstly, we are going back to our June month. So on the 3rd of June, we are going back to having a Nedbank Imvelo Mountain Bike Classic at Temidlalo.
All right. Her being the sales and marketing manager, I want to believe that's a marketing move and trying to bring it back to the original dates. Maybe that's should I call it? That's maybe a season where they have got more in terms of more clients. Now, President is in the house. President, can I just take this moment and applaud your work? I think since you've been in the office, I'm not saying those who were in the office prior to your arrival were not doing their job, but we've seen the sport just taking another swing. That's a good job. Once again, good to see you, Babi Ngumaro.
No, thanks, Fabrice. Thank you for that. But I think we owe it all to race organizers like Fananabogo Big Game Parks, who have actually come to the party in terms of making sure some events are happening, and also learning from the mistakes that we make and improving on that, because it's something that we encourage to say. We admit there was an error, not just in the date itself, but maybe even in the starting time, because I think we set the starting time last year. Usually in winter and everything, and then only to suffer in the heat of Isama and having people suffer on the bikes. So I think it's a very good thing. We are here today. First of all, admitting there was a mistake that was made. Secondly, then also sharing the learnings from that experience to say, yes, we made a mistake, and this is how we are planning to atone for that mistake in terms of making sure the people have a very brilliant experience. Yes, it's a wild experience because it's a wildlife sanctuary, but it should be a very brilliant experience still within the same parameters. So very happy about the decision that has been made with moving the race back to June, because we understand it's a mountain bike race, and that it gets really hot in Lilwane in summer. So we are very happy with, as race organizers and as an association, we are all learning as we go, and we're not afraid to actually make the changes that are required to be made, that need to be made for us to actually improve our sport.
Now, let's talk about this, classic race on its own, Miskam. Let's talk about now the preparations. Yes, you've highlighted the change of the dates and everything. Clubs, I'm sure they are away, individual cyclists and everyone. This time around, I don't know if we should get into the figures. I know you've got an official sponsor in terms of the sponsor that is in charge of this. In terms of the figures, you and the partner, you will say the partner by yourself. Have you increased the figures? Well, what's in now? What's the current situation? Where are you with the partner in bringing the event to the table?
Okay, so we have been very lucky. We have continued, Nedbank has continued being our main sponsor. As you see from the title of the event, Nedbank Imvelo Mountain Bike Classic. So they've come into play even this year. Last year they did a sponsorship of 150,000. They've gone up by 50,000 this year, so we're looking at 200,000 when it comes to their sponsorship this year. So we have kind of increased it, and the money is not on me, so when we have to live here. The money is given to it's given out on the day.
But right now you know where the money is. You know where the money is. You know the account for you
it's
to
still
know.
with Nedbank.
It's still with Nedbank.
Yeah, let me leave it.
We can make a plan. Yeah.
But yes, they have come into play. They have increased their money, and for us, we are looking at that. Hopefully, to also adjust in regard to our prices, what we'll offer people, and also what the event is going to look like. If you bring in more money, there tends to be an expectation that things or the level of what you had last year is going to be even better. So
it's a quite jam-packed month of June for you, Mr. President. You look at in terms of activities, we've got the event actually we're talking about for you as a viewer. It's on the 3rd of June, so it's roughly, it's not even 3 weeks, it's 2 weeks and a couple of days. We're talking about a couple of weeks, days, sorry. Then later on there is border to border, then there's national championships. So it's quite a huge list of activities in June. How is now the mood of cyclists in terms of preparing for this specific event? And for you, have you now got to a level where it's what about, is it competition or it's a touristic attraction sort of event for you mostly as an association? How do you describe this event for you and the cyclist?
I think for us, we have quite a critical role to play, especially because we also have Eswatini Tourism Authority, who are one of the key partners for not just for this race, because we saw them last year. They came also with guys from outside the country who were also there to see the event. And so it's become a hybrid event in the sense that it's a sporting event, competitive event, a very competitive race, but also at the same time it has that huge element of actually bringing in people from outside the country who want to experience Eswatini. So we have the Imvelo, the Nedbank Imvelo MTB Classic, and I would like to also upload maybe Nedbank as well for the continued support throughout the years, because that consistency also in terms of they've been there for years, they've been partners with big game parks for years for this particular event, also lends credence to the event as well in terms of just its statue and also recognizability. So I'd like to applaud Nedbank for that, and also especially the MD who is always there and always in that high-spirited mood as well at the event. So it's quite hard. It's quite nice to see Bandla coming out to support, even though they are not riding, but coming out to support the event and actually be part of the experience as well. So whatever they sponsor, if they sponsor something they've seen with their own eyes, and it's a vote of confidence, because it's one thing having someone come in, put in money, but it's something else because you have someone put in money to an event and then be at the event, see everything play out, and then go on to say, on top of what we gave last year, we're going to add 50,000 Emalangen, because that basically means whatever it is that happened at the time back on Ababwile actually was good enough for them to say, this is the product that we are happy with.
All right. Beautiful stuff. Now, it's a tricky question because, President, at some point also I want you to have a say on that. What are the most dangerous animals do you have there in terms of, at Mlidwan? I'm going somewhere with a question.
So we normally create our routes, so kind of was maybe Nemfula. So crocodiles do tend to swim to that. Yeah. So Singabugalabo, Netinyoga.
Tinyoga. Oh, yeah, that's scary. I'm not going. For God's sake, I'm not going. No, we've got a serious issue of markings where you can't. I would say we've seen it before. Whenever there's a mountain bike event, because it's not like road race. Road race get you and this, I can see on the right side of the screen behind the cyclists, there are those red small markings. But we can't at some point that maybe cyclists did not get proper, directions or information in terms of the markings. And how is now preparations ensuring that this doesn't happen?
Okay, so when it comes to our preparations in regard to our routes, apart from doing the routes, Labatai rider, it's the signage that needs to be on point. We're looking at having different cyclists come through this weekend just to experience the route before we open it up for the event. So there is that bringing in professionals so that they can advise us as big game parks or as in Dilwane. Is the signage okay? Is the signage fine? And then apart from the signage label we have different marshals that have been stationed. Labatau sita umundu, just in case you have missed that that turn, utokona umulotok chela wuts, okay, your color, first of all, as you can see, their numbers, they're color coded. When you're doing it 35 kilometers, so you are doing 65 kilometers. So nalema signs at Aupala, if you are 65 kilometers, it's green, it's going to be green. So once you start seeing a different color, then you can see this is not the right route. But normally where we have a point where you'll be separating between 65 and 35, there is going to be someone there, a human, that is going to actually be able, if you miss a point, to actually direct you. So we are bringing in sign that is on the ground, sign that has been placarded, and also people as a whole. So
President, Bakon about Mr. and Mrs. I know everything. I normally want to I go every weekend with the family. Hey, what? This is very key because I'm not allowed to be. What are you telling the cyclists this evening in ensuring that they follow this information? And I like on how she says there should be a cycling session where cyclists actually get information. How key is this? And you're advising cyclists. Maybe for those coming outside the country, it makes sense. But for those who are local, let's just get information.
Yeah, I think what's critical from what Kolani is actually sharing, one is the issue of community involvement. Because what they've done, or what Big Game Parks has done that's incredible with their event, is they've involved the community that's around their space to say they are now part of the race, in the sense that they actually participate actively in the race and also benefit from it. But secondly now is also the involvement of the cycling community as well, to say, as a race organizer, I may not be someone who rides every day, so I may not be maybe aware, as a cyclist moving around, so that bit that they've added in terms of just bringing in a cyclist who will just do a pre-ride of the race itself is actually a good move, because then from a cyclist perspective, you're getting a perspective that shows, okay, the signage yet maybe need to improve Lananala. Because one of the things that we've seen happen Gulamanyama race, if you don't, if the community is not involved, if they don't feel part of whatever is happening, you put a signage the day before, the morning after, because but involving the community, then it becomes community-owned event. So the community also then owns the event, and they become part of the delivery of that experience. So to the cyclists, I think the first thing that I would like to say is this: please respect MRA's organizers, ETU. And by respecting MRA's organizers, I mean let's please try and register on time. Register and follow the instructions as laid out, even the instructions as laid out for that particular route. And as well, on the day, let's follow my instructions as given by my event organizers. We had last year, because a few things might have changed, and the race organizer, because they've been on the route before, they know what they're guarding against by saying, you can move this side, but please don't move that. So let's try and actually just actively encourage each other to participate, because the only way that we are going to keep getting sponsorships from Bonnet Bank and getting people who have nothing much to do with cycling, like Big Game Parks, come in and say we want to host a cycling event, is if we show up in our numbers as a cycling community to participate.
Key,
in
very
it.
key information, because it is quite important. Singayengala ukuthi Mlilwane siyamathi. Lemvuleni fanele ukuthi last year you were at my birthday because you used the main entrance. So we move on, even this year we use the same entrance. We change now. We go from behind. Now I'm coming to you in terms of registration and where we're standing. But quick one, President, where are we in terms of the standard MTB races? Where are you happy when you look at where we are as a country? Now I'm out of the sponsorship a bit, so Sankuruma cycling bomb. But I'm coming to you in terms of registration. Where are we? Are you happy with the standard MTB
I think
races?
there's still a lot to be done. There's still a lot to be done. I think there's an active discussion right now in terms of even the championships, because we haven't had an MTB championship in years. It's something that we critically need, but we need money to actually host that, to be able to host that MTB championship, just as we need money to host the road championship. So there's that ongoing discourse at present to say, how do we fix that? We have the Nema Continental MTB championships just in South Africa next month, I think. But also that it's also a touch and go for us both. So we have quite a lot to do, both in road and MTB, not just in MTB only, both in road and MTB, in just making sure we bring in the talent in, because you will see Mlilwane, for instance, when you go to Mlilwane to this particular event, you will see there'll be a lot of children cycling. But you go to the next road event, the numbers are close to zero in terms of the children cycling. So you're already at an entry level, you have many children participating in MTB events, but we need to create a platform to say, then how do we develop them to actually participate in other events? And also, how do we utilize these spaces that big game parks and everyone else hosting my events are providing to actually enhance the talent as a country? Because, yeah.
All right, beautiful stuff. Now, quick one, Tkolani, because time is against us. Two things. First, I want to ask you about registration. Where are we standing in terms of registration? When you look at even the figures, the mood, the fever, can people sense that the event is closer? Can you see that maybe they're coming their numbers in terms of registrations?
Okay, currently in regard to our registration, we're looking at over 150 entries. Oof. And I think that was the one thing that when we were looking at Nedbank Invelo, we are looking at more tourists coming through. So normally our numbers are coming from Mozambique and South Africa. So it's not only just going to benefit Mlilwane, it tends to spread across Eswatini when it comes to that. So yes, and then because we are celebrating 20 years of hosting the event, we have decided to start up some pop-ups. So we have been doing some pop-ups in different places. Today we had ones at Gables, and then tomorrow we'll have one at Malkin Square, at Gables, and also at Mlilwane Gate. So what basically the pop-ups does, you find some people that because we are using My Active, we tend to lean more on professionals when we're doing these things. So we're using My Active for entries. So you find some people, they struggle to use their internet. So we've said we are going out there to the people, come to us, let us enter you, using manual and everything. And for anyone that enters and pay on that day, there's always something, a goodie that's coming with that. You enter and pay. Yes, I'm looking at you. You want to go and enter and like. So we'll be having up those pop-ups for the next 2 days. So it's going to be Friday and Saturday. And on Saturday, the other one that we're going to be adding is going to be the one for the awareness that is going to be happening at Matapasa municipality. So we'll also be there. That's the beauty of working together.
We are offended, Tkolani, because you said we have a problem using the internet. No, we can't log in. We know how to use the internet, but we have difficulties logging in. But I have a tricky question, President, because I've always asked myself, someone is seated, someone from pool, athletics, tennis, these are your colleagues, other sporting codes. Is there anything else we can do there at Mlilwane apart, besides cycling? Other sporting courses that you sit and you feel as sales and marketing manager, any other sporting course that can be either played or hosted at Temidlalo?
We do have other causes. We're not only just limited to mountain bike. Mlilwane is a beautiful spot for activities. So we do also have an event that has, we do running, so it incorporates running when it comes to
marathon, yes.
Yes, so there's, we have it, which is Resolution Run, which we have around January and February, depending on the time frame.
Yes.
Yes, so we normally have, that's one of the other activities that we have. So it's not only just limited to that. Mlilwane, you do do have hiking trails that people can come through and do, which can fall into an activity when it comes to exercising or any athletic event that you can do. So for us, because we have animals, we try as less as we can to have noise.
Okay.
And this to sinemsindo.
Okay.
So what we try and do, my activities that you do, my activities that will align you with nature and also at the same time preserve and conserve in nature.
There's a equestrian association, horse riding, which
Yes.
means they can come.
Yes, we do offer that.
Horse riding
Yes.
can come.
Yes, we do offer that. At some point, we even had, I don't know if you guys know about it, it's called the hunting, but we are not hunting, we can't hunt there. So they created just an artifact of a rabbit. So they dress in their formal outfit and they just go out there and hunt. It's a formal event for riders, for horse riders. So we also offer that at Temidlalo.
All right, let's get back to the cycling business, because out of 150, how many international cyclists so far? If you can just give us a rough figure.
A rough figure, we'll be looking at around 50 to 60.
Okay.
Because what happened was that even last year we had some people that did not come through, so they kind of shifted their entries to that side. We have quite a huge market when it comes to the Mozambican market, so they tend to come in numbers when they are coming through, and also obviously the South Africans, they're also coming through.
President, when you sit and you look at this cyclist, this is last year's edition. You were there and you were happy. Weather conditions, I don't know if it's because maybe it was not in June like it's going to be this year, but what do you want to see as an association in this year's edition? Now, money, if this can be achieved in this year's edition, yeah, what do you want? Maybe it's time for her also to get, one or two of those notes and just say, go and change things. What do you want this year?
I think
Be it preparation-wise, be it cyclists and everything.
I think for me the critical thing is we want an event that's safe. Think that's critical for us. We want an event that's safe, that's incident-free. So we want to see emergency preparedness. It's something that you already discussed. We see in case of emergencies, what do we have planned? Because I think if the event is safe, then it becomes a wonderful experience for everyone else, because everything else can happen within that safe space. But also we want to see competitiveness. We want to see competition. We saw last year our young boys performed quite well. So we want to see that, and possibly maybe something we could start actively thinking about is the issue of e-bikes, because I think last year we had e-bikes also.
Motorbikes.
No, e-bikes.
E-bikes, yeah.
Yeah, e-bikes. We had them, I think, last year. And Gwabane, I think there was a little commotion, but it was manageable because I think the person who was riding the e-bike was very open to say, I wasn't the winner because I was riding an e-bike. So with something.
By e-bikes, you mean electronic bike?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's something that we
I know
need.
things. I know things. You both coming out soon,
Siyabonga lokhu.
Yeah, so the introduction of that, yeah.
So we need to maybe look into introduction of that segment as well.
Okay.
Yema e-bikes as a standalone, because I think most of the older generation mainly is moving towards that. They
the
still want to
e-bikes,
ride
yeah.
their bikes, but the legs can no longer move as strongly as they used to. So it's an element that we can look to build into, maybe going into next year. And also I think what I would love to see as well is all the cycling clubs that we have in the country coming out in their numbers to support the event, and not just this event, all the other events, because we haven't had much events so far this year. I think most of my events are June, we are there, and we need to come out and actually showcase ourselves to say to all the corporate partners and everyone else to say, if you put money into cycling, you will get the visibility, the brand visibility that you seek. You will get the marketability that you seek. So if a cycling clubs, because I'm sitting here representing my cycling clubs mainly, who form the association. So if say cycling clubs would not go out and actually participate in the event, then that's how we lose sponsors. That's how we fail to actually develop the sport as well. So for me, it's critical with all the cycling clubs. We participate, and not just participate on the day, but also actively promote Lama events as they are shared. Because we have all the social media spaces and everywhere where we operate as clubs, but are we using them to actually push the brands or push the companies or the organizers that are actually supporting our sport and keeping our sport alive. Because without the corporate sponsors, without the big game parks, without everyone else coming into play, we don't have a sport.
True. Now, quite impressive. Now, before I let you go, Kolani, on your side, it's sort of one question, but it also puts you on the spot as the marketing manager, just to put it out there. It's a slot, not so data because you're marketing now. Do you have any specials this weekend in terms of cyclists and those those who will come to Vagash during the weekend? So Nasiti, the race is on the 3rd, which means from the 2nd, 3rd and 4th, those who come to take part of the event, those who come to watch, and those who just come. That weekend, yeah.
All right, so we normally have, right now we are giving out because of our 20 years. So anyone that will be booking accommodation starting from Friday, which is the second, starting from Friday, Saturday, if you're booking 2 nights, you get 20% off on your accommodation facilities.
Okay.
And then our restaurants normally have specials that happen. And on Friday, we normally have pasta night. And then on Saturday, it's normally, most people love it, hog on a spit. So it's a whole buffet that has been laid out for people. So you have those kind of specials that are happening, accommodation and meals.
Beautiful stuff. And then, what do you want from cycling on that day?
Cyclist.
Yeah, I'm cyclist. And the association, the cycling association. That's the cycling, it's the association. Cycling association. Because nasa kwendega something utawutsisa the association. A cyclist. What do you want from them, the cyclists?
You know what's so good about that? We have such a very good relationship with the Cycling Association. So even before we came here, we'd already had conversation and spoke in regard to what Rita was just saying, for the safety, for the security. That is something that we've spoken about. And we always try to, I don't know whether we overdo it. They will come with 1 ambulance. We already have 4 that's there. And we're not only having ambulances, we have paramedics
Safety
that are
measures,
there.
yeah.
Safety measures. We have rangers. We have police. We have the community. So it's always good to actually do something and have a very good relationship with the association, that they do advise you when it comes to those things. So for the association, yes, I know that they'll be there for those that do not have their licenses on the day to assist with that. But also they've given us guidelines when it comes to how we plan our route and our water point and how to do the event. So which we feel like hopefully going forward it's going to be on point on the event.
They have it. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Tell you what, 3rd of June, it's blessed to be. Don't make any plans. For myself, I'll be there. I don't know about you. Don't ask me what I'll be doing there, but I'll be there. Now, thank you very much, President. Thank you for your time. I know whenever we get a chance, we get your attention. We get everything we want from you. And I can tell you what you're doing for the association and the sport at large is quite impressive. Sponsors and partners also, thank you very much for your time. We can't wait to see once again, after 20 years of existing in terms of partnering with cycling, once again, it's a huge event. A short break. When I come back, I'll be in the company of in-house analyst Linda Dlamini, just to point up a few things about this event and look at other sporting activities after this.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds, full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, to feel the rush of life overwhelm you, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. You ask, and we give you the royal experience. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. There are but a few places on earth so special, so unique, and so spectacular, where it becomes the rite of passage for the ambitious travelers, the courageous souls, to all have the one and only royal experience. when you look deep into your heart and leap into an ancient world so very different from your own, where magic, beauty, and love are shared forever. Then you will have a whole experience. There is just one place on earth where the people make you feel a part of their kingdom, where you just might volunteer to awaken spirits, enrich minds, and work alongside communities to build, motivate, and inspire. This is truly your royal experience. When you dream of a different world, beyond the ordinary, beyond time, discover just how far you go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Now, we're all about sport, and we're still here, and I'm in the company of this man, our great analyst in the house. He knows sports, and he's all about sport. Nguvusela Nkosi.
Ngiyabonga Fabrice sibalo wami ngikuthola okukhulu kumukela ehlelweni lakho bese ngikuthola okukhulu ngivusela ama-loyal viewers ekhaya.
The loyal viewers, they are lucky to have you. Master Imvelo, once again, ngiyathi ukuthi tabukhona. One word before quickly go. Ungathini kwe tournament. It's growing each year in each year.
Amazing Fabrice. Solo Imvelo MTB Classic iyaqala uyabona labamvu labafika batoyingenela labaqhamuka ngaphandle kwakuleli ukhuluma base South Africa eNingizimu Afrika ukhulume base Mozambique even though ke khona vele ucinga ukuthi ukhulume Portuguese ungene ngalapho vele ngoba singisi silikhuni kodwa nje ngicanga singilokuhlangana more than anything tourism njengoba sashilo president ukuthi bane partnership nebaka tourism even nabaka Imvelo, then the sponsors lesihlale sikhuluma ngawo Fabrice ukuthi siyawathinga ama sponsors ku Temidlalo iNetbank ikhulisile imali this time around 200,000. Imagine.
What a amount of money. We know there are people who love sports. Now, Master, over the weekend bekuchubeka Madarts Championship. Madarts Championships ngasho ukuthi it's another sporting code, but imisele ukuthi at some point at the end of the day babe sportless khulile siphakeme. Master, wafika wakhanzani ku Madarts?
Yeah, Madarts uteka yona Fabrice qhubeka ama national championships Madarts elangeni esikolweni elangeni high school lapho khona kudlala khona ngama categories kudlala ama individuals lokushothi ma singles kudlale ama teams kudlale nama doubles. Fabrice yaqala about 2 weeks back wona ema national championships asekuma quarter finals nyalo ma teams nje ma quarter finals inkumbi yawo nawubuka even nakula ma teams i-correctional nje ithonsene kune-correctional na-two ma teams akumadarts kune-correctional A na-correctional B shothi munye ngalapho correctional uya kuma-semi-finals then ema-defending champions Malkens bakhona ama-quarter finals batimisele nabo ukuthi baya kuma-semi-finals baya kuma-finals even this year. Ngicabanga ukuthi the level iyangakhona ngeke bese sengiyabadlelela iyangakhona ngicabanga ukuthi but lokumcwa kakhulu Fabrice ukuthi siyabona cishe badlala ngathi bancane balabadlala lomdlalo even nabadlali labobosisi even though leti nombolo akusito lethi ngathi tiyajabulisa because less than 5 obosisi labangenele wona ama national championships which is akusiyo involenhle nasifuna ukukhulisa lomdlalo kubosisi.
Ngiyatibona tikipha Master kubhale bothando nabobheki and including the likes of Subsiso Patches. Master, the sportless sesikuvusa analyze ibhola Master usitshele ukuthi bekufuna thathi far post and everything umkhulisi nyambona la nakashayela. Is it about talent or it's luck, the sport itself?
No.
Now it's Malkens so far they are doing well. Talent or mindset noma
Fabrice
inhlanga.
kumadatsi awushayi nje ukuthi ngiyajika nje ukuthi uyatargeta ukuthi nangabe angizambona nje lapha ebhodini soyarabha le nombolo lokuthi ushaye emkhatsini noma lapha ekhathi kunema point akhona then nala ngaphandle nase le circle lasengathi inkulu khona leti nombolo nakhona kunama point akhona lamakhulu so awukushayi nje ukuthi engishayile nje kwawela eceleni kunama point akhona lo watholako lamakhulu lo divide ngaleti nombolo letingalagcineni because
9 12
exactly labo 9 12 8 14 bese so divide bathola le nombolo naye labayibhala lapha ebhodini ngicabanga ukuthi i-art lena Fabrice njengoba umbona nje emabhalani wakhona kule association badges
and it's a minus esiyayibona not divide minus
hamba kanjalo ke le bhodini bese sekhamba lama point bese sawo minuswa kucishwe lenakhuza le nombolo kubhalwe lelensha lengena la ngaphasi bese sekuyabalwa ke nasocizile lokudlala hence sikhuluma ukuthi ema teams akuma semifinals ema singles akuma semifinals nema teams sorry ma quarter finals njoba sengishilo ukuthi kunama teams bomalkens sikathile ukuthi ba dominate sibabonile last year ngoba ngibe ama defending champions even na this year ema players akhona uyabona ukuthi cishe adlala afuna kubuya nayo le trophy ekhaya.
Now, in one way of echoing your words, Master, the Eswatini Data Association Communications Officer, Flag Ngumalo, believes they're heading in the right direction. This is Flag Ngumalo.
Lengivusele kuwe msakade. Imidlalo esinayo namuhla emadatsi aka Boab Investment. Lokuma National Championships cha sengoba ka Boab nge 10,000 amalanga. So namuhla sidlala ama championships etwana 3 weeks aqalile. Kwaqala ema teams wabuya sadlala ama doubles namuhla ama singles. So lema National Championships asisita kakhulu la ngokuthi sikhona lokuthi sirenge labadlali bethu. Sitothi nasikhona ku select national team kube lula ukuthi banowina iphi tournament automatically so unaso sporting national team then bese kuba nale youth level seats ngakho kakhulu abantu besikole abakhona nabo bangenele ama national championships badlale with the best players. Lezinga msibili setulu kakhulu nawubuka ukuthi ema veteran la ngangabo babe Friday Mncima last week badliwe ema young players lokufaka khathi bo nabafaka baselangeni bo Celmosa na Lihlanga babakhokha kule tournament. So today let's hope lama veterans lokufaka khathi bo babe Friday Mncina Abraham Zinisa bo Mr Nzingane bathi namuhla bafuna ukukhombisa ukuthi umfana ngumfana but the young talent hayi msibi no lisetulu kakhulu abafana ba standard badlala kuso because bona basitho ukuthi babukela bo PDC la bo YouTube bese bathatha lebabukele batok implementa la body. Nema female players bancane bosisi solo naloko sisene sikhebe lesikhulu kakhulu la kulama females. Ama females la khona lesinawo this season ngilama juniors la under 25 so ba compete kule elite league so bakhona nyalo ama females so mixe kanye nalama males so vele ukuthi mancane mathuba abo ukuthi bangawina something ngani ngcono nababodwana bangakhona sibadlalane bawine but lokho kule national championships babhicene nalabo babe vele kuwina kwabo kuncane kakhulu ngakhuthata nje kubomake emakhaya ukuthi basikhululele labo sisi sibuye sibafundzise umdlalo wamadarts kuze bakhona ukudlala sitokhona ukuthi singedele nombolo abantu besifazana.
Now, thank you very much to Flag Ngumalo for that quite comprehensive information that he just gave us. Master, it's clear and it's understandable and we have to give them the support. Now, moving on, volleyball, Master. Volleyball, in a way of trying to ensure that they increase competitiveness, they increase development of the sport, they have introduced B division. Sesingashobutsi, Premier League, National First Division. Why? Wafika wakanza, Master? Why are they bringing B division?
I-B division Fabrice bayilethele baka volleyball ukuthi ito lethe competition ku A division uyayothi na udlala ka A division nangabe aw relegator ku competition lo ilethako kanzi nangabe uyathi ukuthi ita relegator bese chamuka i-team lengaphansi utawudlala utawudlala utimisela hence ke yona i-Volleyball Association bese sithi akute i-B division nyalo ke baqale kubobabe ba le B division iqale kubobabe ngima teams la sadlala ku B division ang 8 la lata udlala ku A division lo shots 2 wawuta wenyuka aye ku A division then la lata udliwa inkemba yinye letaba segcine intavela idliwe inkemba yepass then lelenye itawudlala ema playoffs but ngicansi invo lenhle lena Fabrice itawungeta neku ema teams because maningi ama teams lwabona ukuthi lawa leka A ayaceka sewahamba thola emandla leka B atawuthola ke amandla even nama teams lamasha kuvisana buhlungu Fabrice ukuthi i-team lensha lefikako ifike ihambe straight iyeka A ingayilethi le level le standard lesicingekako so ngicanga sibona baka volleyball bende invo lenhle sesigadzile ukuthi nakubosisi if lamacembu ataba manengi bayikhona kuyi-register yona i-B division sitayibona le competition ngale ku-A division yenyuka.
Beautiful stuff. Now, the Vice President Eric Gama also has something to say about this issue, and he highlighted that it's all about bringing competitiveness. This is Eric Gama, the Vice President of Eswatini Volleyball Association.
To all regions, the teams were registered because we had a cut-off deadline last month. We bhatala la registration fee, but we bhatala 10 teams like qualify ukuthi angene league ka-B division. No standard ka-BC setulu kakhulu siyajabulisa. Kuyakhombisa nje ukuthi noma bangaya ka-A utawufike bacompete. Kwentekile ku-VA Cup ya last year a-B team yaba ku-top 6. Ikhona nje nyalo lapha ngicanga ukuthi ngiyo lesiyibukile lesifisa shangathi kungakhuphuka i-organized kakhulu. Kwanyalo kusede because emathima akhashana esithobela sisigadzile siyacala namhlanje kudlala kulo week number 2 because nasi week number 2 kwale league ka-B sitabe sicala kudlala kule liviki le. Ngicanga sesikhona sesibabonile abanye ba bekusede i-challenge ngoba kuseseliviki lesibili. I-bigger picture ngaye bekuthi siphushe lo A division because seyikhona le compliance lamanye ama teams ukuthi sometimes i-ENV ingasanishina i-tournament oleyo league babe nako lokuthi bangadimisele.
Now, that's Eric Gama from the Eswatini Volleyball Association. Moving on, netball. There was a sponsorship that was handed to Sigwe constituency, a facility or rather a constituency where there's a volleyball competition under the Member of Parliament who happens to be the Minister for Tingonja, Mr. Cruiser Ngampala, David Cruiser Ngampala. Master, wafika with sponsorship from the Minister of Justice, Paresh Kant, who was actually the patron of this Eswatini Women Network. Nguyelo singasho ukuthi who handed over the sponsorship. Wafika with the sponsorship, Master, wakanzani yini yakuchaza on the day?
Fabrice, i-network of Eswatini Network of Women ngiyo inhlangano le buka kakhulu tekuthuthukisa bona bomake tekushiyelana ligwayi kwabo bomake bathuthukisa ichase noma isekele badlale noma ingasho ukuthi imidlalo ye-netball yaseSigwe emaqembu abomake netball la khona la phansi enkundla yaseSigwe ladlalako le sponsorship initially besing 30,000 yasenyuka le mali bathi bona baka Eswatini Network of Women lo kuyipatron yayo uminister wa justice Makeshakhandu Polile Shakhandu yenyuka ke le sponsorship safika 100,000 nasifika 100,000 lamacembu nyalo kulembela somvu lesiya kuyo asawudlala ke khona le eSigwe labo udlala le mali but akusiyo ke le mali kuphela because banikiwe nelijezi lekudlala labatawulisebenzisa nakudlalwa kulama finals number 2 netinkomishi nawubuka nje lelijezi leli ngilo labatalisebenzisa le netinkomishi ke labatatithola noma number 1 lotathola uhamba nana inkomishi nayi lenkulukati then even na play of the tournament nakhona kunengomishi yakhona la tayithola ngicabanga ukuthi indvo lenhle lena for i-tournament lesemakhaya Fabrice ukuthi ingathola sponsorship lesemali lesikhulu kangaka naloko ukuthi nje udlalele ama-medals udlalele ama-trophies indvo lenhle leyo akukavami emakhaya more especially nalokuthi nje le sponsorship 100,000 akusiwo umdlalo loyo siyawubona lamanye ama-leagues siwabonele lamanye la ku semadolobheni noma la dlala at the highest level but sponsorships 100,000 sincane siyimvela kancane.
Beautiful stuff. We can't wait this weekend when this competition gets underway. It's all about improving the sport in the rural areas. And we want all those areas within the nation just to be improved and also compete at the highest level. Mayor's Cup, Master, the least we can talk about now. Mayor's Cup here in Babane, Nakona, he's a busy man, like I said, in terms of sport. Nakona wafika wakanzani, Master?
I-Mayor's Cup siyakhumbula ukuthi eMbabane kwasukunyiswa umdlalo weligaluva lo dlalwa khona lapha eMbabane club lo watiwa le-Mayor's Cup lokusho ukuthi ingomishi le noma umgcuzelwana wameya welidolobha laseMbabane this year ke mayor waseMbabane udlalisela umgcuzelwana wokuqala asolwa ngenile hhovisi yenama ke Daphne wakamhlanga kube history because ngima kweqala lube ngimeya welidolobha laseMbabane excuse me yena make Daphne wakamhlanga le ngomishi lena ke Fabrice noma lo mgcuzelwano lo wendelwa ukuthi lo lokutholakala ko lapha because emaqembu aye register ngemali kungenela lo mgcuzelwano lo le mali le yayitholakala ke Fabrice isita bamvu labaswele belidolobha laseMbabane. Last year nje imali yatholakala ngaDisemba kwakhelwa lomnye gogo lapha kaMsunduza indlu ngicabanga ukuthi yindvo leyo lengavami Fabrice etindzabeni tetemidlalo and uletha nalemvo ukuthi i-Mayor's Cup lokusho ukuthi lo mayor welidolobha laseMbabane nguye lo nakekela labamvu ngalendlela ligaluva igaluva ke Fabrice ke kuthiwe idlalwa mhlambe bamvu labadlali zambani lampondo noma labadla kusala ngicabanga ukuthi
okay
for lama teams for lama teams ukuthi ato register yindvo leyo lethi they are giving back to the community because angeke vele uzohamba ukhokha imali everywhere so the best way ukuthi uthathe uregister udlala i-Mayor's Cup then le mali etholakala lapho ihambe site bamvu labeswele.
Beautiful stuff. Now it's a saying they shouldn't be offended but see idlala kubantu labanjani
labadlali zambane lampondo noma labadla kusale
in other words the kick labo liyasinza
yeah le kick labo lisinza
lakho liyasinza
ngicabanga ukuthi nakhona Fabrice le mentality iqala la
yes iqala la
igaluva lokwedlala
it's an expensive sport yeah
yes kuyadula kwesibili nisindlala lapha Fabrice labo somabhizinisi bathi nabayingenela imidlalo ligaluva nisindlala nibe nikhona lokunetworka so kungoba ngako ngathi le business sesoyikhulumele galuveni because siyakhona lokunetworka ngicabanga indvo lenhle leyo but ama golfers abekaphumile on the day amanengi and agcoke kahle ngicabanga lokunye tetimvo lekumele ukuthi sisha letandla iMbabane Golf Club ngilendlela ama golfers ayo latinaka ngayo yes bekakhona ama guest labekatila ngenela lo mgcuzelwano but ngicabanga laba kunengela laba kwenta kahle baseMbabane Golf Club and on the day bekanakeke kahle ama greens anakekeleke nje kahle kuthi umuntu labe ngathi ukhala ngema greens kuthi amdlalise kabi awakanakeleleki kahle tonke tinvo beti kahle.
Beautiful stuff and beautiful visuals just to give you an overview. Thank you very much Master for being here and we appreciate your time. We appreciate your expertise. We appreciate what you do for us in terms of covering all these activities.
Bonga mina Fabrice but konke lokho Fabrice sendele imali ya viewers.
Now, to the closure of the Mayor's Cup, two special ladies in that event had something to say. It's the newly introduced mayor of the Mbabane, who is now a female for the very first time, and the captain of the Mbabane Golf Club, Fiswe Villain. That's the two speakers we leave you with. Until we meet again, the entire crew that brought you this show, my colleague Linda Lamin and I, we're all here for you.
Golfers and corporate representatives, Council is very thankful for your wavering support over the years that has grown the Mayor's Cup into the charity event in the city that it is today. Council wouldn't have done it without your support. Today's charity event has delivered a number of that have made a difference in the lives of people in Mbabane, as we are all aware that we, like most of the towns, we are faced with growing urban poverty. Charity events, engagements do make a possibility that these people can be able to live and deal with the social challenges that they face from day to day. I'm told in December 2021, the family of Gogo Hlezi Nkambule moved into a home that was literally been built through the proceeds of the Mayor's Cup. It pleases me that this annual get-together of golf players will indeed be helping Council to alleviate the suffering of poverty stricken families in our communities.
I would also like to thank all the teams that had ladies and the teams that had juniors. I think for 2023, it's not the year for us to still be saying only lady, only female, only first female. I think we are way beyond that. I think by now it should be a norm. When we put together our teams, we should make sure that we just open the door for one lady, two ladies to also be part of it. Our juniors as well. Really proud because that is the future of golf in Eswatini. We will get old and some of us, it's too late for us to start gunning to be pros, but there's an opportunity for the ladies, for the juniors to still, do good for this country in the golf space. So golf development is in our hands. Let's please make sure that we do the right thing.
Rewards Winner Car is back with even more winners. Sign up to New Spar Rewards and you could drive home in a special edition Hyundai i20. Simply swipe your New Spar Rewards card when you buy any participating product. Like 450-gram Bacoma Wheat Bix for only $24.99 and Nivea Roll-On Deodorant. Buy any two for just 38 emalangeni. Spar Rewards Winner Car. Now on.